also help us avoid making mistakes in the application or interpretation of statistics and avoid basing decisions on misleading information. All businesses benefit from the sound application of statistical methodologies. But for niche marketers, these are especially powerful and necessary tools. As we move into a world where the collection of vast amounts of data is increasingly commonplace, knowing how to get the best information out of that data will be crucial to success.
We will now continue with the second question and answer session. This question comes via the fax to us. It goes something like this. If the sample has to be random, how can you survey just one group in the population? For example, if your niche market is small business owners and you don't want to survey people who are not in this group, what do you do?
Well, that's a good question because often this is what people want to do. You have no choice if you want to do a proper survey but to take a full random sample. What you can do, though, is ask as your first question, are you a small business owner? If they are, then you continue the survey. If not, that's the end. What this has the extra benefit of doing is to tell you what % of the total population is your target group. So you know how many small business owners there are in your population.
Okay, and our next question is from Cuba, and it's if you have a sample that is too small, can you combine data from two surveys to get a larger sample?
Well, this is something people frequently want to do, but it is not something that you usually can do. The sample, the methodology of the survey must be identical. The questions and the order that they are asked in must be identical in both surveys. And if the distance in time between the surveys, if one is in 1995 and one's in 2005, it's too far apart. So sometimes you can, but usually you cannot.
Okay, our next question is from Sinaloa. Sinaloa, go ahead, please.
This is Miguel Islas calling. Sí, adelante, señor Islas. My question is the following. Excuse me, we seem to have a glitch in the communication.
Okay, I guess we lost that. Okay, we're back.
My question is, what methodology can we apply in order to be able to identify what type of consumption or how many people are actually using e-commerce to be able to see what type of real consumption is being used? That is e-commerce opposed to just traditional commerce. How could we figure out a methodology?
An awful lot of people want to know how many people are using e-commerce in countries everywhere. The temptation would be to do a survey via the Internet, to use the Internet. That would be the wrong approach. It would be all right for some follow-up work, but your initial survey still has to be through one of the more random methods that would reach a larger % of the population. So you would need to do an in-person or potentially a telephone survey of the population and ask, have you ever purchased anything online? Have you used the Internet for these uses? So again, the basic methodology applies no matter what kind of question. Even when you're asking about newer technologies, you use the basic old methodology of statistics to get your information.
And we go to Sabinas, Mexico for our next question. Go ahead, please.
¿Qué tan exacta
How exact is a sample of 15% of the population in a statistical analysis?
How exact is 15% depends on 15% of what. If I am surveying 10 people in a room, I can't survey 1.5 people, but a survey of 2 people would not be valid no matter whether it represents 15% or 50%. So you have to look at how large the numerical size of your population, but basically you have to have at least about 500 to 1,000 people if you're looking at a large population. If you're looking at a population of, say, just your university students, you still want to have a large enough, say, 100 people or more, a large enough group to get useful information from them.
Okay, thank you. Our next question comes from August Calientes. Go ahead, please.
Sí, muy buenos días.
Sí, adelante. What is the best method to determine a sample in a survey that is held in the population?
If you're looking to determine what your sample should be, again, it's simply randomness, as odd as that seems. And you can do that in a number of ways, but generally you have to make sure that every member of your target population has an equal opportunity to be chosen for the survey. And that is the key basis for all surveys done properly.
And that's an art that you have to develop to create randomness.
Yes.
In your sample. Thank you for your excellent questions, but we have run out of time. We hope that you have enjoyed participating once again in this exciting multilingual and multinational program. We invite you to participate in the 7th video conference of the 2004 series, Success with World-Class Competencies, airing September 30, 2004, entitled Time as a Productive and Cultural Resource, Current Dynamics of the 24-Hour Society. For additional information on this video conference series, please consult your participants manual or our website, where you will find the dates and specific topics for each program. On behalf of all of us, I thank you for your ongoing participation and interest in this program. Thank you, and see you soon.